Hey Movebubblers, it's Kendal here and welcome back to our channel. Now before renting a home, there's a whole bunch of questions, right? So in today's episode, we're going to break it down in terms of how much you have to pay before you're able to rent a home in London. So why don't we just get straight into the video. Moving homes has to be one of the most exciting things, and I know because I've done it so many times, but it's also extremely stressful. Once you've gone and you've found a place that you absolutely love, you've looked at it, you've put an offer in, your offer has been accepted, there's a number of different processes that one has to adhere to before securing your dream home, which also means paying for some things up front, which of course can confuse renters. So we're going to break this process down for you to help you better understand what you need to pay for upfront in order to secure your rental property in London. So when I moved to London in 2018, things were crazy expensive, and in order to actually secure your rental that you really wanted, you had to pay some pretty hefty upfront admin costs. But the good news is that in 2019, the tenant fee ban came into place, and that meant that letting agents could no longer charge admin fees for their services. So although there are some upfront costs, you're not going to see yourself out of pocket. It's not going to cost an arm and a leg, and moving into your apartment is easier than ever. So in order for me to secure a property, what exactly do I have to pay? Well, as mentioned, you no longer have to pay the admin fees, which means the only fees that you do have to pay are things that contribute to securing the actual property. And in essence, this is money that you're actually technically going to get back, because number one, you're either contributing to the deposit, or number two, you're contributing to the first few months of rent. So on a positive note, this is money that is helping you secure the property, but it's money that you should also get back towards the end of the lease. So in order for you to secure your home, what exactly do you need to pay? I know that's the number one question. So let's break it down a little bit. So the first one is the holding deposit. Now the holding deposit is exactly as it sounds. It's paid to the landlord in order to hold and secure the property and to say, hey, I'm serious and this is the property that I want. The landlord then has to go and remove the property from all advertising and from the market because you have already paid the upfront cost of the holding deposit. The holding deposit typically equates to 1 week's worth of rent and is actually contributed to your first month's rent. So it's not so bad. I know that it can sound like quite a big amount, but in the grand scheme of things, it's actually contributing to your first month's rent, which helps you later on down the line. If for whatever reason you don't pass your references, or your credit check doesn't come through, or the landlord has had a change of heart, your holding deposit will be fully refunded to you and you'll get it all back. So in the grand scheme of things, it's kind of a win-win, if that makes sense. But overall, it's just there to secure the property and say, hey guys, I want it, I'm in, and this is my new home. So number two is the security deposit. Now the security deposit is also paid upfront, and the landlord can charge up to a maximum of 5 weeks rent, which must be paid back to you at the end of the tenancy. So the security deposit is exactly as it sounds and is there to act as a guarantee for the landlord so that you, the tenant, if for whatever reason there's any faults or damages during the time that you're living in the property, that can then be replenished from the security deposit. Now the security deposit has to be kept in an official scheme of which the landlord chooses and then has to notify you to let you know which scheme they have chosen. So if for whatever reason there are some disputes between you and your landlord, or something has been damage within the property, the security deposit scheme mediates and decides who is then liable for the possible damages. But overall, if you treat the property well and you look after it, speaking from experience, you'll get the entire security deposit back at the end of your tenancy. Number three on our list, and the last cost involved, is your first month's rent. Now the first month's rent will likely minus the holding deposit, which means you'll probably pay about 3 weeks worth of rent, but this is something that you do have to pay in order to secure the keys to your brand new property. The figure that you pay each month will be set out in the AST, which is the Assured Short Hold Tenancy, and how you pay it will be totally dependent on yourself, the landlord, and the property management company. So is there a way to minimize costs? Although the tenant fee ban reduced costs hugely, don't get me wrong, for anybody, paying 5 weeks security deposit can be pretty hefty, and for some people it can be actually physically impossible. So zero deposit and zero fee renting is possible, and is one way that renters can move into a property without paying a security deposit. Many build-to-rent operators offer deposit-free renting in their properties, and a lot of landlords are jumping onto the scheme too. So how does it all work? Well, instead of paying 5 weeks security deposit upfront, instead you are paying 1 week's worth of rent, which is non-refundable, but it gives you the opportunity to have more freedom with your cash and spend the money on, well, actually moving into your property and perhaps finally investing in that big screen TV. So now that you know everything you need to pay before moving in, I hope that this has helped you feel a lot more confident, especially in your search for finding your dream home. I know that it's definitely going to help me, especially when I move again, because suddenly I'm just a lot more enlightened and I feel like I've learned quite a lot. So that's always good. That's it from us. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and let us know in the comment section what other videos you'd like to see from us. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, because we'll be bringing you new videos every single week. That's it from me, and I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye!